Thank you for joining me for another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 79. It's the Thursday night football edition as we back to our regular Thursday night football edition of the blog. Because last week was a special one because there was Thanksgiving, so it was 3 games. We just got 1 game to focus on this week for Thursday night, as today's date is November 28th. I had to look. 2018. I'm Troy West here with you, of course. Always, you're watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel right here on YouTube via the PlayStation Network. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, this week's matchup, big game in the NFC, and playoff implications all around. The New Orleans Saints come in, winning 10 straight games at 10-1 against the Dallas Cowboys at 6-5, and they've been playing better. They come in on a 3-game win streak, I believe, as they now tied for the NFC East lead with the Washington Redskins, who they defeated last week, by the way, 31-23 last Thursday on Thanksgiving. That was the 4 o'clock game. And the Saints also played last Thanksgiving night as they beat their division rival, the Atlanta Falcons, 31-17 last week. We'll start talking about the Saints. Of course, we had the power rankings coming up after I preview the game, and a look ahead to week 13, and the sports blog for Saturday, our normal weekly blog, which will be Saturday, December 1st, as December finally is here and upon us. Let's talk about the Saints first, of course. Is there a clear favorite in the NFC? I want to say clear. You still got the Rams out there, and what they just did to the Chiefs, they're 10-1 as well, even though the Saints beat the Rams at home, by the way. But still, Rams will be a formidable opponent now. After that, everybody else had flaws, including Dallas. And the Bears, of course, are coming on strong in the NFC North. And in the South, of course, the Saints are there. So, but they tough division. But their division just look like it's slacking up, as Carolina is falling off a little bit. Atlanta lost some games, so they probably pretty much out of the playoff picture now. And Tampa is Tampa, of course. So the Saints schedule now looks a little bit easier than we thought. We thought they was going to have a tougher road to that 1 seed in the NFC. But I just got a feeling they're going to get it. I'm starting to feel like this is a destiny team. Like, he's always one of these teams, just everything just going right for them. That's what it seemed like. Everything is going right for the Saints this year. A long time ago, when they lost that first game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we thought, well, the Saints are going to be the same old Saints. The defense ain't going to do nothing. Drew Brees had to do too much, but it haven't been like that at all. Even on the opposite side of the ball. Mark Ingram, he was out the first 4 games. They weathered that storm. He's back playing very, very well. Alvin Kamara, sort of a dark horse MVP candidate, what he's doing on the football field as well. Michael Thomas is just a dominant receiver. The Saints are ready. I say clear cut, but definitely playing the best football in the league, period, right now. Drew Brees for MVP, hard to argue. What was it, 29 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Drew Brees. All the accolades this year. I think he got the yardage record. He's pushing on a touchdown passing record. Completion finish over almost 80%. That's just crazy. Like, the average is about 66. Like, you good at 66. He's at 78, I believe. It's just unbelievable. Playing the best football he ever played in his life. But he got the complementary pieces around him, at least in the running game. Receivers a little bit dead. We'll see if Brandon Marshall plays tomorrow, as they signed him after David Bryant got hurt the week before. So we'll see if he gets some burn this week. Should have got a full week of practice now. But the Saints are looking formidable. I don't see nobody beating them. I won't pick nobody against them right now if I had to choose. So we'll see what goes on tomorrow night. Dallas might have the formula to beat New Orleans, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, with the running game and everything. But and Dallas is at home, but I still think the Saints heavy favorites. They're 7.5 favorites. I think that's pretty much right, about the right score there. I mean, right spread, 7.5. But Dallas have been playing better, as we talk about the Cowboys now. Can they win the NFC East? Definitely in the driver's seat now. The big win last week against the Redskins on Thanksgiving was, what was it, 3 weeks ago they lost to Tennessee. Everybody counted them out, including myself. I'm like, well, they not going to win the division, which means they're not going to be the playoffs. There's only one team coming out of this division as far as a playoff spot. Eagles still in striking distance. Giants are too far behind at 3-7. I think Philadelphia is 5-6. And of course the Redskins still tied, but they lost Alex Smith, if you know, to a gruesome injury the week before, and they got Colt McCoy playing. Just that the Redskins offense ain't gonna be able to get enough. I think they're gonna start sliding a little bit. So I think Dallas definitely has a chance to win this division. But only thing about Dallas, of course, the inconsistency of offense sometimes. The defense has played well all year, but can Dak Prescott be consistent? Can they give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott like they're supposed to? Which sometimes they forget to do that. But they got the defense to compete. I think they can make some noise. They can be a sleeper team. I think they have the formula to complete with New Orleans. They could maybe slow them down on the defensive side of the ball, control the clock with Zeke. But especially for tomorrow night, I just don't think they're going to do it. I think if they play a close game, it might give them some hope if they meet again in the playoffs. But Dallas playing some good football. I think, like I said, I think they have the formula to beat the Saints, but I still don't think they're going to do it, especially not tomorrow night. So with that being said, final score I got 30-20 Saints winning on the road tomorrow night. I think it's going to be hard for Dallas still to hold them under 30. I think they're going to get a few stops because, like I said, the Dallas defense is underrated. I think they're going to try to get the ball to Zeke. I think they're going to get behind, and then Dak Prescott will have to throw the ball, which is not bad. Amari Cooper has been a huge trade pickup for the Cowboys. He's been huge, giving Dak Prescott a consistent target. But I think Prescott still developing. I believe in him. I like his character. I think he's going to get nothing but better, but just not ready yet. Not ready for the Saints yet. I think they'll slow down a little bit, but I think they'll still get 30. I think the Cowboys only must have 20 points. The Saints defense is underrated as well. Sort of more optimistic defense for New Orleans, or sort of been no break defense. But I think about 30-20 would be the final score. I hate picking final scores, and nobody's never completely right about that. I'd be close sometimes, but I think it'd be around in that range. Dallas in the low 20s, and the Saints in the low 30s. I think it'd be that. And with that win, I believe it will clinch the division for the Saints. I'm not 100% sure. If Carolina loses and they win, I think they clinch the division and still be fighting for that first seed, which I think they're going to get. I think the Rams, they showed a lot against Kansas City. They got a game this week against Detroit. We'll see how they look there. Their schedule probably is still easier, but I think the Saints' schedule has gotten easier now than Carolina and Atlanta. Well, they just beat Atlanta, so has fallen off. So we'll see. I think it is going to depend on who gets the first seed, who might make the Super Bowl between those two. Everybody else in the NFC still got. I like the Bears. I like how the Bears are coming on though. They got the defense, and they got a running game as well. So, like I said, a good formula to be the high-powered offensive teams that the Saints and the Rams are. But the quarterback situation is a little bit fluky. I like Mr. Trubisky. He's improved for Chicago, but don't know if they have enough to be in that upper echelon. And whoever's the East winner, I think they'll might win that first game, and then they'll be done after that. So, if it's Dallas, even if it's Philadelphia, the Eagles don't look good this year either. So far, Redskins, I think are pretty much done because of their quarterback situation. So, I think they would have had a chance with Alex Smith. But of course, we'll talk more about all that Saturday. A couple of big games on the schedule, including the LA Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a huge game in the AFC, in the AFC side of the playoffs. I have all my picks and all that on Saturday, so we'll get into that on Saturday as well. Talk about some more teams. The AFC is pretty much littered with playoff teams. A lot of teams either 5-6 or 6-5. Of course, right now the Baltimore Ravens own that last spot in the playoffs, but there's a lot of tiebreakers and stuff, so that could change. So just keep winning. That's all you got to do. If you're in the playoffs right now, if you keep winning, you know you'll make it. Let's move on to the power rankings for Week 13. I'm gonna start from the top because the top has been the same pretty much for the last few weeks. So the more controversy is at the bottom of the 5. So we're gonna start with number 1, of course, the Saints. They've been number 1 for now 4 weeks in a row since they beat the Rams a couple of weeks ago. They've been number 1. They number 1 again. They don't move at all. Another impressive win last week against Atlanta. So Saints right now playing the best football. Can't deny on the number 1 spot. They're number 1 again. Number 2, the LA Rams. Of course, they was off last week, but you know the impressive win against the Kansas City Chiefs put them at 2. So this is their second week at 2. Even though they was on the bye week, nothing jumped out at me to move them, so they stay at number 2. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. Tough loss against the Rams, of course, but just like I said, nothing to sway them away. They right now number 1, still in the AFC. Pittsburgh had an opportunity to make them sweat, but they lost to Denver this week. But other than that, in the AFC, New England is right there, and they won against the Jets, and they lost to New England this year. But it was in New England. I think if the Chiefs get number 1 seed, they have a high chance. I'm one of those guys. I know it's bring a different team every year. You can't go off the past, but the Chiefs have been, if you look at their recent history, they have failed in the playoffs. I don't think they got a playoff win since the 90s either, but they've had a few times where they was the 1 seed, the 2 seed, have a home game and lose. So, just like last year against Tennessee, I think it was in the wild card round, but still, it was a high favorite in that game, and the Titans were there to come back and defeat them. So it's just something about the Chiefs right now, a history thing. So until they win their first playoff game, I'm not going to. Even though this year is different, I know this year is different. It's hard for me to say somebody will go in there and beat them, but at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody went in there and beat them at home. But I think they better get home field still. But I love the Chiefs. I love Patrick Mahomes. Defense still got to get it together, but they are definitely a formidable opponent. Number 4, the Houston Texans. They was tied for 5th last week. They jump up to 4. You won 8 in a row. Gotta give you some props for that. I was impressed how they've handled Tennessee. I think Deshaun Watson is back. I think their defense is optimistic, as you seen on Monday night. Just like the way they playing, I got them number 4. Like I said, the Texas is a team that might can go at Kansas City and win, or go on the road to win. They got a nice running game, and Deshaun Watson proven that even though it's college, he's proven that he's not afraid of moments. So he should be a sneaky, dangerous team in the AFC playoffs, because I really think they're gonna win this division. I think they'll beat Tennessee, pretty much wrap that up. Even though the Colts are coming though. They play in 2 weeks. I think Houston just got too much of a cushion. I think they'll hold on to win the division. And number 5, the Chicago Bears. They was tied for 5th last week as well. So that means the Steelers, which I pretty much a prisoner of the moment, I put them in the top 5. They're out again. The Bears, been playing good football. Can't deny it. I think that was a gutsy win against the Detroit Lions. Of course, it's the Lions, of course, but still impressive. Like, division wins to me mean something, even if it's probably overall the team is a lower team. Like when, let's say like the Browns as well. Like, I think division games are always tough because they got so much information on you, and just they more motivated to play those type of games. So I was impressed by the Bears. They played last Thanksgiving as well. This week though, I think they play the New York Giants. A lot of people think that it might be a trap game, but I think they will go in there and take care of business. Then they got the Rams next week. That'll be a test for the Bears if they can compete with New Orleans and the LA Rams. So looking forward to that. That'll be a huge game. So it might get flexed to Sunday night. I hope so. That'll be good for everybody to get it flexed to Sunday night. So that's my top 5. Like I said, a lot of teams could be the Chargers. They beat the Cardinals. I'm not real impressed with the Cardinals this year, so I didn't give them a lot of credit for that, even though they blew them out. Played pretty well. New England played the Jets, even though that's a division game. I get that more credit than I get the Chargers. I probably would have had the Patriots over the Chargers if the list was longer. But the Patriots, to me, they starting to get healthy, and they still will be forming with the AFC. Sort of probably like this role a little under the radar a little bit. Everybody talk about Kansas City, and the Chargers too get a lot of talk about too, at least on TV. Patriots haven't been getting as much talk as they normally get. So watch out for the Patriots. They're coming. There's two teams. And Pittsburgh, even though they lost to Denver, but still they lost. So I had to get them out. But they still will be a formidable team at the end of the day as well. Like I said, so those 65 teams in the NFC, the Ravens looking better. The Colts, of course, they won 5 straight. They coming on. So there's a lot of teams you can fit. I think to me, I feel comfortable about these 5. So let's start at the top and go down again. New Orleans Saints number 1. No, the LA Rams number 2. The Kansas City Chiefs number 3. Number 4, the Houston Texans, and them at number 5. Chicago Bears. No ties this week. And it's been a real topsy-turvy year. It's been hard to keep teams out. Like I said, you can make an argument for the Chargers and the Patriots as well to be in this top 5. So that'll do it for the Power Rankings this week, and that'll do it pretty much for this blog this week. Look ahead to Saturday. NBA, we'll talk a little NBA. Nothing really crazy going on in NBA. I might touch on, I'm thinking about if I'm going to touch on the Dwight Howard thing. It haven't been big news, but I heard about it. I might touch on that. I might not. I don't think about it, because really I don't think it's sort of going out of sports time. I mean, if I do talk about it, I'm going to compare it to sports. But honestly, to give my opinion about it, I just think it's sort of not our business. But but that's the biggest news in the NBA pretty much. Then the Western Conference, I think I talk about that because it's pretty much jammed up. But the Warriors struggled a little bit, even though they won it 3 in a row. But I think the Clippers right now, it's like every day it's a different team on top. That's how tough it is. And the Clippers are right now number 1 in the West. But it's still early. So we'll talk about that. Baseball news, my Braves. I get to talk about my Braves. 2 big free agents. I think my Braves should be favored in the NL next year. If they could add another pitcher, I think so. Brian McCann and Josh Donaldson. I think 2 huge pickups for the Braves to mix in with that young talent. I like my Braves going forward. I like them to win the East again next year. But I'll talk a little bit about that. College football, of course, the rankings came out yesterday. Of course, Georgia creeps into that top 4 with Michigan losing. I'm really disappointed in Michigan, man. Just disappointed in Michigan. But we'll talk a little bit about that. So we have a lot to talk about. The Jags, a little drama there. To me, they're the most disappointing team. I don't think it's close. A lot of people throw out Atlanta and other teams, but I think the Jaguars clearly the most disappointing team this year that you expected to play better. So we'll talk about all that Saturday on the blog. It'll be episode 80 of the Solid Sports video blog. So you join me Saturday. As far as my video game playthroughs, I'm gonna try to fit a Spider-Man video in this morning. I've been so apologizing. I apologize for not doing any more videos. Really no big excuses. I've been busy with work and tired, and mentally I haven't been all the way good. So I'm gonna try to get some videos in for that and for some other videos. So just keep posted. I don't want to make no promises, but I'm gonna try to get some videos in, especially for Spider-Man with the DLC, the Turf Wars DLC that you know about. And Mega Man 11, I want to finish that, try to do that Wally stage. They probably try to do some more Madden as well. NBA Live, I know I'll have it sometime in December. Don't know exactly when. And some Call of Duty as well. So definitely Friday will be a day I could catch up on some stuff as well. So definitely just keep your eyes open. And I'll put stuff on my social media platforms to remind you guys as well. My other channel, The Open Book with Troy West, let's get some support. I was going to do like a cross. I'm still going to do it. Probably going to do it next week. But this week, I'm going to, like I said, every time I have a little episode, I say I was going to share it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus it on, probably talk about my drinking habits and how that ties into my depression. I'm going to share that, open up again, and share that with you guys. I think I'm going to do that Friday. So, like I said, keep posting with all that. I put all of it on my social media platforms as well. So that's what's coming up for me the next couple of days. Wednesday, so hope you enjoy your work week. I'm on the East Coast. It's real windy and cold here. I know the Midwest got hit hard with snow. I think it's overall the whole country is kind of chilly, so keep warm. Happy holidays. I'm not a holiday person, but I'm not a Grinch either, so happy holidays to you. Hope everybody enjoyed their holiday, and still some more to come. And I'll see you Saturday. I'm Troy Westhead. Thank you so much for watching. This should be a good game tomorrow night. Entertaining. Saints and Cowboys. Can the Cowboys make a statement, or will the Saints continue to roll along? We'll figure that out tomorrow night. Got the Saints winning though, to clamp on that NFC #1 seed. Thanks once again. I'm Troy West. You're watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel right here on YouTube via the Places Network. Solid Sports Video Blog, episode 79. See you next time. Thank you so much. Talk to you Saturday.